So I want to start with the first question. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read the question today. It says there, my husband and I have been married for 16 years. That's already a good thing. We have one child. Recently, I found out that my husband went outside the marriage to try to have a child with another woman. I don't know if she is pregnant or not. I am completely devastated. Completely devastated. He says he does not want to lose me and my son, that he's still in love with me. I'm praying to God to help me because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. That's the story there. That's the question there. What should she do right now? Her husband for 16 years they've been trying to have children, I guess, apart from the one they have. And they were not having. And so this man, according to this question, got tempted and decided to go try to have another child with another woman, a woman outside the marriage. And she found out. I don't know how you found out that your husband has gone out to get somebody pregnant. Maybe he told you, maybe somebody that knows both of you told you. But I can only imagine how heartbroken you may feel, not because of the action alone, but the trust that is broken. The fact that you bonded with this person and you, in your mind, you thought you were working together, you thought that you are together, and then he goes out and impregnates, or maybe not, we don't know yet. You said you don't know if she's pregnant or not, but went out to try to have another child outside. In other words, you also not only feel betrayed, you feel that he has concluded that you are the problem and is trying to solve it without you. And that can be very stressful. And I want to answer that question today. What do you do when you find that your spouse has done something like this, gone out of the marriage and gone to connect with another person, and he's saying on the other side, I still love you, I want to keep the marriage? Now, we cannot solve this problem completely without more data, but I'm going to just assume the data so that you can then piece things together. So the first thing I would like to know is this man a Christian? Is he a person that loves God? If he's a person that loves God, but he's now backsliding, because someone that loves God and still loves God doesn't do those kind of things, but he's now disconnected, backsliding, and he's trying to solve a problem that you have handed over to God by himself. Then there's a path that we're gonna follow, which is to help him recover his spiritual life. But if he's not a Christian, and maybe you also were not really solid in your faith, during the marriage, and it's only now that you're beginning to cry out to God, then you're in the right place. The first thing you need to do is to reconnect properly with God. Let God bring the healing that you need into your heart. You know, our Lord Jesus Christ was betrayed by his disciples, and so he knows what it means to be betrayed, and he can bring that closure to your heart. First thing I would like to say to you is that do not try to suppress the feelings that you have. Rather, allow them. Feel those feelings, let them come, speak them out, and then release them so you forgive him properly. That, and you might wonder, how am I going to forgive someone that decided to destroy our marriage and allow other things to come in? I would like to remind you that he also is already disconnected from God. And going outside the marriage is a proof that he is already is suffering from some lack of understanding and knowledge of what it means to love. He has connected his life, his fulfillment, to having another child. And when a person does that, that's an error. Your fulfillment cannot be anything outside you. If you try to connect your joy and your peace to something outside you, you're going to keep chasing that. One child is never enough, another one, and then another one, and it still doesn't make a difference, because if you are bringing a person into the world and all that you have done, like in this case of this man, what he has done is to bring the child into a chaotic marriage, chaotic situation, then it doesn't really help. All right, so he's already struggling, and if you want to continue to keep your marriage, what you need to do then is to make sure that you figure a way to release him and put him in the hands of God and allow God to show you what to do. This is where it starts from. All right, this is where it starts from. So if you're watching me live and you have a question, you can post the questions in the comments and I will answer your question. If you get this on the replay, I will post that. I will take your question, put it in my queue, and then I will answer it on another day and let you know when it is answered. All right, so first thing first, take care of your heart. And in taking care of your heart, you need to reconnect yourself with God. Begin to work on releasing your husband from your heart. Releasing that anger that you feel, releasing the thought of I cannot trust you. I don't believe that I can trust you because you were living in the same house with me. You had this problem. You didn't share it with me. All of those thoughts, let them come out, speak them, feel them, and then release them. Release your husband into God's hands. Trust God. So you may at this point be feeling that I don't know what God will do with me. I am not sure that God can answer my question, help me with this. This is a problem that you need to fix with God because God is all powerful, but that doesn't mean that we all believe that. And in fact, most of the things we do, it's because we don't believe that God is all powerful, and we don't believe that He's always nice, He's always good, or we don't believe that He's always interested in helping us. Now, those things need to be fixed on your side. And while you're fixing those things, you need to begin to talk to your husband. I don't know what level of transparency and connection that you have with him. If you are at a good level of communication and connection, then you want to speak to him and say, so what is it? What does he want? He may say to you that he still wants a child and he wants to see if this woman would give him a child. That's the worst case scenario. I don't expect that a lot of people will say that, but some will say that, you know what, I just can't have only one child, I want more. So what are you going to do about it? Now, if that is the case, then you have to reconcile that look, the husband has decided to go out of the marriage, to go do some other things, and you then have to make up your mind that, you know what, am I going to stay with this or not? Am I going to accept this or not? I would suggest, of course, that you look deep in your heart and decide. From scriptures, we know that that's not what you're supposed to accept. You're not supposed to accept that you will be married to a man that has another woman outside. But if he's not saved and you're connected with him, that means you already broke that rule. You already felt that you don't need to follow God's rule by going to get married to someone that you knew that wasn't following God properly. All right. So if you're already there, then you want to check, where are you right now saying I want to follow God properly, or you're still saying I can do half and half. So when we choose to do half and half like that, there's some consequences, and when those consequences come, you need to work around them as much as you can, and that's where we are right now. All right, so let's assume that that's the case and you don't want to. Then you have to let him know and let yourself know what the next steps are. Are you going to pull yourself back and just begin to build your life without him so that he can go look for the woman that he wants? This may be a good place to start, because if he still wants to keep you and the marriage, and he's going outside to deceive another woman, that's not fair. That's not the right way to live. So you must not only stand for yourself and your child, you must also stand for the woman. I know right now you're angry with that woman, yes, but still, as a child of God, we need to make things right and bring light into the world. So what I would encourage you to do is to say, you know what you're doing is not right. You cannot go get another woman, and where if you bring another child into the world, where is that child going to be? Who's going to be? What home is that child going to grow? So all of this is not right. If you want another child, we can discuss adoption and discuss other things. So this is where you're gonna start from. But what about the pain that you feel, the pain of betrayal? So because there are several things that we need to work on. There's several things that you need to work on. Are you going to work on your own heart first and get healed, which is what I always suggest that people do? There are other things. Then what's next? How's the marriage going to go on? What are you going to do with that? And other details like when are you going to make? Are you going to have that discussion? What about the woman outside in case he already has a child? What is he saying to you that he wants to do? You are able to do all of this and discuss all of this and not be too emotional to handle that. I say too, because it's impossible to be completely disconnected. So you will need to get your heart in the right place, and there are tools and ways and actions that you can take to get that in the right place. And once your heart is in the right place, you begin to make those discussions. First things first, you reconnect properly with God. Get him to help you get over the pain by releasing your husband, understanding that he's already just longing, looking for fulfillment, connection, and he doesn't know that that should come from God, should come from him understanding his purpose and his value from God's point of view, because he doesn't know that he has been going around finding ways to do that by himself. So you're able to release him, and then once you've done that, you can then take a look at your own actions and what you need to do next in order to recover your marriage. And this is what I help people to do, regardless of the challenge itself, whether it's infidelity, whether it's just disconnection, whether it's workaholism, or any other kind of addiction. The same solutions will come to pass. The details are different, but the systems are the same. So first thing, take care of your heart, then take care of your connection with God, and then finally take care of your connection with one another. That's the process. That's the way it works best, and that's the way God has designed it to work in the first place. All right, so I hope this helps you. If you have more questions, reach out. I will be willing to help you and show you how to do that. What I do in my training programs and in my memberships is I give you all the steps, the training, and I support you through the process, both with prayers and with coaching, and of course, scriptures to show you what to do next. All right, so that's the first question.